Well, yeah, first of all, my name is Omaivboje. I'm a current fourth year accounting student here at San Diego State. I feel like I'm very involved in campus. This year, I actually just started like a passion project. It's student work called Studio Black. And essentially, it's like just a space. I feel like just being like black at a predominantly white institution, like I feel like it's kind of hard to like be myself, especially creatively. Like I like to make music, I like to make clothes. These are actually my clothes. This is like my clothing brand that I made. It's just like it's something I've been working on for the past 2 years. But I feel like Studio Black, I feel like a lot of people ask me about like, my creative endeavors and how like I'm able to do that. So I feel like it was kind of like a tool for me to kind of just, help people connect to like, the creative side of them, especially when it's hard to just express yourself because you feel like you have to like fit into a certain mold, just like as a student and just like as a black person in general. But I feel like those are like the really core parts about me. I feel like I work on that like almost every day. Like it's always on my mind. So I was born in Loma Linda, California, and I grew up in Rialto, California, which is like near like San Bernardino area. I was there for the first 12 years of my life. I went to elementary and middle school, and then I moved to Moreno Valley when I was 13, which is close to Riverside. Then I came here when I was 18. But just looking back, like at my life, I feel like the major things that kind of shaped me, I feel like before I moved, I was pretty like outgoing and like, I feel like I had a lot of friends at my older school just because like it was comfortable. And when I moved, I kind of moved into like a different environment, and I feel like that kind of, how can I say this? Like it was kind of hard for me just to like make friends at first, and I feel like, oh, are you,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like in the story, moving from which location again? Sorry, just
oh,
which
from moving
location?
from Rialto to Moreno Valley,
Okay, there we
and
go. I was
yeah,
like, you moved a couple times. Let me check.
yeah, sorry
But from
about that.
moving from Rialto to Moreno Valley.
Yeah, I feel like moving there, it was like a big change in my life because like the people in Moreno Valley were just like a little different than what I was used to. I feel like I grew up around like it was predominantly Mexican, and then when I moved to Moreno Valley, it was like more. It was still Mexican, but then it was also like Asian and Black. So it was just kind of like learning how to interact with like just different cultures and just just trying to find my fit was kind of hard. I feel like in middle school, I think when I moved, I started like getting bullied, and this is like a really like weird. Like I actually like just realized this last week, but I feel like that's when I started really getting into fashion because I feel like I started to like put on outfits and I would put on nicer outfits, and I feel like that's kind of like what made people like me. So it was kind of like honestly like a weird insecurity about myself that turned into like a passion, and I feel like I had to like rewrite the way I look at fashion because I look like that. I feel like I used to kind of validate myself through fashion. I feel like I had to like had like the most fire fits, and then kind of put on what other people like. I feel like these past couple years, especially through college, I've done a lot more like experimenting and actually finding my love for fashion instead of like wearing things for other people. But I actually just like literally realized that last week, so it was like a crazy
That
revelation.
feels
But
like a full circle moment
yeah,
almost. Oh
like
my goodness.
literally it started out of like this like kind of just like the feeling of just wanting to fit in and like be included, and now it's kind of like what sets me apart, and I think that's what I really love about it. Yeah, definitely. I would say one of the biggest challenges that I overcome. I feel like, well, oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention when I was growing up, I grew up in the church. I'm a proud Christian. Like that's what my brand's
I
about.
couldn't tell.
Yes, it's a joy prayer. It's like a,
Not enough about God.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like growing up, I grew up in the church, but I wasn't very like I didn't have that close of a relationship with God. I feel like I would go to church and I go to school and I just do what everybody else is doing at school. And I feel like here, like this was the first time I used to be forced to go to church. This is like the first time I had like the freedom to kind of do whatever I wanted. So I feel like I think towards my sophomore year, I started to get like a little more curious about them. Like I feel like I actually like since it was out of my free will, like it was a lot more like personal and more intentional. So I would say like the hardest thing I had to go through was kind of just like starting college in that mindset of like SCSU is like a party school, and just doing what everyone else is doing and actually just like choosing to, follow the narrow road that I feel like God has set for me. So I feel like that's like really one of the big things. I feel like, when I came to college, I had like a reliance on like, like, things like, smoking and drinking and just like going to parties and just, again, like feeling like I had to fit in. I feel like my life, I've always looked for just like community and just trying to feel like accepted everywhere. And I feel like that has led me astray a couple of times because I feel like I can kind of lose myself in that process. But I feel like, especially this year, I've been just learning to like, just, set boundaries and just make sure that I'm staying true to myself. Accomplishment I'm proud of? Yeah, definitely. Last year, or actually my second year, my sophomore year, when I first started my clothing brand, I had the opportunity to be in the fashion show, and it was like I feel like it was like a big step for me because I probably only had like 2 or 3 pieces, and they wanted me to produce like a full runway with like there was like a lot of volunteers, so they asked me to take on like I think 14 people and I had to make full fits for all of them. So that was like super stressful and just like it was like a crazy experience. But I ended up, having a runway and people like really liked me and they liked it so much that they ended up offering me to run the fashion show the next year. Or not the next year, but this year. This is the year that I get to run the fashion show.
This is the next year.
Yeah, this is literally the year. So I feel like just taking it's like, I feel like at the like edge of a breakthrough, you always have to like kind of take a step into uncertainty. And I feel like I didn't really trust myself, but I just felt like it was right. And, now this year we've been working on it and like we just actually posted the signups for it I think 2 days ago and we already have like 100 models that are signed up to it, which is like way more than last year. So it's just like crazy. Like I feel like, everything that I've been doing is kind of just like leading up to, just better things. So but yeah, my fashion show it's set in April 12th. Currently, I have a whole e-board like Studio Black. I have the fashion show under them, so it's me and 7 other amazing people, and we meet every week on Mondays. I meet with like my vice president for an hour, and then I meet with the whole e-board for an hour, and I feel like that's just like having that schedule and like building momentum and kind of just seeing everything kind of follow through. And then also like for example, like sometimes I don't want to have the meetings, but I know since my whole e-board is like there, like it kind of holds me accountable. And when I'm tired and we're friends, like we hang out all the time. Like we were just at Chick-fil-A till like 12 a.m. yesterday just talking about just like school and like how everything is. So I feel like really just having them in my life, talking to my mom and my dad, praying, even Dr. Oliver, I have meetings with him twice a month. So just I feel like just kind of falling back on my community and just knowing that I can't do it by myself. That used to be a problem. I used to try and do everything by myself and I would end up just burning out. And when I burn out, it would just be bad. Like I wouldn't do anything for like 2 weeks just because like I would be overly cooked. But just having everybody to help me, Dr. Oliver, even just connect me with you guys, like it's just like it's such a blessing. Yeah, definitely. I know people always like think it's crazy that I'm an accountant when I say I do all this other stuff. Like they think I'm like an art major or like a fashion major or anything. But honestly, like I've loved business like my whole life. I remember when I was like 6 years old. I remember it was like Thanksgiving. We had mad family over and they wanted to come in my room. So I put like a sign on my room like if you stay in my room for 5 minutes, you owe me $2. And then like the rate goes up the longer you're in. So I feel like I've always been an entrepreneur. Like I started my first business when I was 13. I used to sell computers. Then I started selling shoes. So actually like this clothing brand has been my third business. So I feel like I've always been like an entrepreneur. And I feel like I just love accounting just because I actually applied for entrepreneurship, but I switched to accounting just because like I'm specializing in auditing. Like I have an internship next summer with a company called Deloitte. They're a Big Four public accounting firm.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
so
congratulations. Oh
thank
my
you so
gosh.
much. But yeah, just like being able to just audit a company through and through and look at their controls and then apply it to my company, it's like some of the best knowledge. Like I can't like Google that type of stuff. Like actually being able to work with these companies and talk to the staff and I've been able to talk to like a couple of CFOs and just like pick their brain about something and just talk to partners and see how they run their things. Like I just feel like it's like the knowledge. It's like a gold mine. Like I feel like it's so like I'm just so blessed to be able to be in this position and just apply it to my company. And I feel like it's just been helping me so much. But my long-term career goal, I kind of like got off track, is to I want to start in public accounting, and then I want to go industry. I want to go like head of accounting or controller or like a CFO role, and just kind of take that on and just be like the financial head of a company.
Yeah. Do you want to like ultimately put it into your own company?
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely want to. I think I want to retire. Like, I want to stop working for other people around like 45. Like, I want to just get a lot of like experience and just be able to, make my own company, whatever my interests is are that time. I know I want to make clothes for the rest of my life. So I know that'll definitely be something I have, but I want to be pretty multifaceted because I like to do a lot of different things. I feel like I'm already successful.
Shut up. Not in a bad way. Sorry, I'm not supposed to talk during this.
But yeah, I feel like a problem I had before is that every time I would reach like a milestone, I would kind of create like another goal. And then like when I hit this, I'll feel accomplished. And when I hit this, I'll feel accomplished. But I feel like it just always made me feel like I wasn't enough. And that's literally like where my brand name comes from, not enough without God. Like I feel like through God and just finding joy in everyday things, like today I woke up and I cooked breakfast and I just talked to my roommate for an hour. And I feel like that is like a sign of success. Like the fact that I'm able to just walk and talk and breathe and just take in stuff. Like I went on a walk today. I went to the grocery store. Like I bought some ice cream. I'm gonna eat that after this. Like I got these Christmas cookies too that I'm gonna make. So like just stuff like that. Like just being able to just find joy in like everyday things. I feel like that's where my success lies. And I don't want to like feel like I'm successful when like one a goal of mine is to like show a fashion show like during Paris Fashion Week, which is like I don't want to like that to be my like sign of success, but I feel like naturally like the things I do like I'll eventually end up there.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I was literally just talking to my girlfriend about this the other day, but I feel like an assumption that people make about me is that I'm like super confident just because like I do put myself out there. Like I make clothes and I started Studio Black and like we make like a lot of content. Like you probably like a lot of people that follow my or like they'll probably see me on Instagram like 3 times a week because we just make videos. We do like skits and just flyers just to like promote our events to have people out there. But honestly, like I feel like I'm pretty insecure, honestly, and the other reason I put myself out there is just because like when I do, it's like weird, but it feels like calming in a way. Like when I do put myself out there, even when I feel like the video, like for example, I make poems and I get like I kind of like put myself on blast in these poems, but if I don't like put it out, like I feel like you're already kind of like how do I say this in a way that would make sense? Like I feel like my thoughts will be making sense, but I feel like when I put myself out there, it gives me like a peace, and that it could also inspire somebody else to put themselves out there, even when they don't feel like all the way complete. So I feel like, people like just see me like doing all this stuff and they think I'm super confident, I'm super sure in what I'm doing. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm gonna do next week for real. But I just try to keep going, and I hope that I can inspire somebody to do something cool because I feel like everything that's great, like all the music I love and all the shows I like to watch, like I know it probably just came from a similar thing, like just an idea, and I just want everybody to be able to create and things
No,
like
that's
that.
really interesting. I'm gonna like ask my own personal question there. Like, how do you recommend like others to sort of get over that like that blockage of putting themselves out there? You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people like don't put themselves out there because they're insecure, but you kind of do the opposite. How do you reframe that?
I would say first thing is to not kind of like put your self worth and like say like you're doing something on social, like don't put your self worth into like the amount of likes or the amount of attention or just like the amount of compliments you get, but rather just be like truly like fulfilled with your work. So honestly, just to work really hard, because I feel like we're exposed to a lot of really good stuff. Like, you know, when I'd read poetry, I'd read like some of the best poets. I'd listen to like Frank Ocean. Then I make a song, and obviously it sounds nothing like Frank Ocean. So you just have to keep working until I promise, like, you know, a couple months are gonna pass. Like, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy. Like, I didn't really like my clothes at first, but the more I did it, like the more I was able to kind of implant my story into it, and like that just makes me smile. Like, it reminds me of something like I did when I was like a kid. Like this paperclip thing, I used to like to play with paper clips like in elementary school. So like this hoodie makes me happy, and you know no one else can take that away from me. So even like if it's not like your favorite hoodie, like I like it, and that's like enough for me to put it out. So really just to fall in love with what you do, put like, you know, your own spin on stuff, and like I feel like you'll eventually feel comfortable enough to like put it out. And when you do put it out, like it's out there. Like you don't even have to worry about it anymore. Like it's out there.